Yeah, I guess the future will be televised. You within range of your greatness, graciously be advised. We tapped into inspiration, generational kind, and moving mountains for the gems they could never find. We take the dive a little deeper every single time. We let the art in every single thing they go behind. In every scene to bring the greatness out. Whatever it is, please just make it count. Then tell the story to the world when you make it out. You are now within range. You are now within range. That's all I know.
That's all I know.
You are now within range.
That's all I know.
You are now within range.
That's all.
You are now within range. You are now within range.
All right, boys. This is officially season 3 of the Within Range podcast with your boys Dom Juan, Jared Suter, and the Eargawd is in the building. Boys, to say this one is special is an understatement.
Biggest one yet by a country mile. We've been waiting for this for a while, dude.
Long time.
Yes,
We are blessed to be here with this legend today. His music raised us and most other millennials growing up in the 2000s. His unique style and flow is unlike any other artist in hip-hop, I would argue.
One of the most distinct flows of all time in the history of the game.
We're talking hits after hits, numerous albums and mixtapes. This man and his group are some of the most influential artists in the rap scene, period. I mean, you still hear their music today. Their samples are everywhere. But representing the dirty South, North Memphis, Tennessee, blessed man of God, Mr. Don't Play, Project Pat is with us.
Pat, thank you for joining us, man.
Hey, y'all got a whole audience, don't you?
Yeah.
Hey, man.
We got the applause sign up there, like the Price is Right.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, Pat. Man, this is an honor, man. Like I said, we've been following you for a long time, man, and we just appreciate you coming on.
Since we were kids.
Hey, man, I'm glad I'm here, man.
Thank
So let's roll, man. Shoot away,
roll.
man. What y'all want to ask?
All right, so first things first, we know you grew up Cypress Garden, Tennessee. I think you attended, was it Eastside High School? Am I saying that right?
No, Northside.
Northside High School. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now I've heard you say in other interviews that you were looked at as a leader, especially as a young man. Why do you think that was? Why do you think that a lot of people, growing up looked at you in that light?
A lot of times, man, people look at you as leaders, especially if the people around you, for instance, I give you, in my case, a lot of people around me was uneducated. So since I know 2 + 2 and I could read, people looked at me like, man, like he, like most smart people don't really deal with people that don't know how to read and stuff like that. They don't make friends with people like that. And then, like, what I'm saying, since I was poor, the people that couldn't read, they was poor, so I could read, so they would look to me for stuff.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Because, and everybody knows this, education in any shape, form, or any level is always going to make you the leader.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
Because if you got some smarts or some understanding about something that somebody else don't, then you can show them, and that's just what it was for me.
Man.
A lot of people that I was around and grew up with, they couldn't read. They couldn't read. They couldn't really do arithmetic, math like that, so they used to look to me, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. No, I remember hearing that story, and I was like, I could see that. I mean, just in your music, you have that powerful voice, and I could see how you were looked at as a leader as a young age. What was the moment that you found your flow, Pat? Because, man, your flow is, I'm sure you've been asked this question more and more, but do you recall the moment when your flow came to you and just how that came about, more or less?
Really, man, I looked up on it. Like,
Okay.
I was just dealing with a bunch of styles, and I lucked up on it. I mean, I got a blessing. I mean, I don't know. I really couldn't tell you. I had did it on this song called Wannabes, but I was doing a whole bunch of styles. But then that style just stood out over all of them. And then my brother was like, man, you need to, what he was saying, when you do the Getty Green, you need to do that style on that North Memphis song. You come with that style, like start the whole album off with that style. I said, all right, cool. And my thing was, I just was trying to just do something that people liked. And I mean, that style stood out. So I ran with it.
It was like God just implanted it in you. You didn't pick it up from nowhere. It just came naturally, it sounds like.
It came naturally, and it was good.
Timeless flow.
It is, indeed. emulated to this day by some
Still.
of the biggest artists in the world.
Absolutely.
Okay, yeah. I heard a story about you and Juicy growing up in Memphis in the 80s, and kind of speaks to how dangerous it was, what you're talking about, where you were growing up. I heard that you two might have gotten pulled over with a gun in the car, may not have been registered. The cop found it, and I think what I heard was that you either you or Juice argued that that it was dangerous out there, and the cop ended up saying, basically agreeing with you and letting you keep the gun or gave it back to you.
Yeah, the cop gave the gun back. Yeah.
That's crazy,
Police,
man.
the police gave the gun back. He what y'all doing with the gun? And Jay had the gun.
Got it.
So,
Okay.
and the police pulled him over and told him, he said, what you doing with the gun? He's like, man, it's dangerous out here. And he just was like, the police is just like, well, we ain't looking for you. The police like, we ain't looking for you. And actually let him go and threw the gun in the back seat. Like, see, in Memphis is like that now, like a lot of killings and murders going on. Like,
Right.
they ain't got time to be doing that. Like in Memphis, they don't, like you be on the highway, everybody rolling, everybody going fast. Like,
Yeah.
the police
Yeah.
right there parked. A lot of police be on the highway because be a lot of shootings on the highway. So,
Wow.
but they ain't looking for you. Like the person that's speaking, nah. I'm talking about right now. They not,
Yeah.
nah, they not.
Yeah.
Nah, they don't care nothing about that. Like, so what?
That's crazy. Well, if I'm ever in that situation, I'm busting that line out for sure. I'm gonna be like, "Hey, works for Juicy J and Project Pat. I'm gonna give it a shot."
Let's say a prayer next to that one too.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about when you first got started in music. According to an interview you did with Chad Arms, you said that you got started in music, with your brother and with Paul and whatnot during the 666 mixtapes. Was that kind of like your first introduction as an artist?
Well, no, I had me and Jay had put a tape out before that.
Mhm.
But as far as like when Getty Green came out,
Mhm.
that was the main like thing. Like,
Okay.
yeah, that was the main thing. It was Getty Green.
Okay.
That broke you, like that really blew you up there, right? Because you had Chicken Head and on the stuff on there.
But that was later.
No,
Right,
check it was
right.
Mr.
Yeah.
Don't Play.
Oh, that was Mr.
Yeah.
Don't Play. Oh, I
Yeah.
got that mixed up. Okay. Yep.
Getty Green kind of like kicked the doors in because people was like, just loving the flows, the styles. Your first album's always the one that people catch on to. The second one is the one you got to bring the pain. And hey man, Mr. Don't Play brought the pain, and they was loving it.
But Pat, listen, man, you're telling me that Out There on Getty Green wasn't a single?
Yeah.
No,
Come on.
They was loving it.
Oh,
But see,
okay.
it was like, you got to understand something. You can have talent, but if I don't know you, I ain't finna pick you up. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
Right, to
Like
even give
people
you the
had to
time.
catch on. They had to catch on. And back then, that's how they did it. So they caught on, and once they caught on, it was over with.
It was over. Yeah. I'm just saying, I remember being in my room doing push-ups saying, blunt to my lips, gun to my hip, rocks. I mean, that song is a classic, man. Classic banger.
That's funny.
Love that.
And it's amazing too. You guys had a solid decade of consistent mixtapes, CDs that you guys were putting out. 36 Mafia Collective, and then once you guys got into the record label stuff, just consistently before I even knew anything about you guys, which was I believe 2000, 2001.
Oh yeah, we had a lot of stuff. We had a whole bunch. So they used to put other CDs out with through distribution of Selecto Hits out of Memphis, and it was a nationwide underground record company. They used to do distribution. That's how we got a lot of money, because Paul used to get $7 off a CD and $5 off a tape. Was going straight in their pocket.
That's
go.
not happening these days, man.
No.
Nothing even close.
People not buying physical CDs like that no more. But when it was, and you know what I'm saying, then say you already got like we was with Loud, which was Sony. So it's like, man, they would be pushing like a main single. So when a person walk in and get the main CD, they'll see the other CDs sitting right beside it. They buy all of them.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
That's how we did it back then. That's how Paul and Juicy got real rich.
Let's go.
Wow. Okay,
Oh, wow.
that's awesome.
Love the hustle.
Okay, so speaking of getting rich and you kind of getting going in the game and seeing some success, like some real tangible success for the first time, I heard something about what you did with your first real kind of check that you got, or when you started getting some money. A lot of people go out and buy some new cars, buy some new clothes, maybe buy a watch.
I was looking for a machine gun,
Okay,
though.
you just looking. Okay, you were
But I was just
shopping.
looking. Yeah, I never
You
bought
were in the
no,
market.
I never
Okay.
bought one. But I was looking for one because back in those days, people was kidnapping dope dealers' mamas in Memphis. So I just was like, well, I'm gonna give me a machine gun because I'm riding around like the drug dealers. I'm looking like a heavy drug dealer.
Wow.
Yeah, the way you're
So,
living, man, you're shining. You were shining that time.
I was shining hard. I was shining hard as a drug dealer. So, or just like them. So they was just like, I said, yeah, let me just go ahead. But see, I wasn't really. I was paranoid. I was in fear. I shouldn't have been like that. But that's what made me get caught with them pistols because I was just in fear. See, that time I ain't had no beef with nobody. It wasn't even like that. It just that the city just was like it was, and I was around it. So I just used to be like I used to be. But nah, it was just, man, it just, old habits is hard to break, I guess you could say that.
At the same time, it sounds like it was, a dangerous place. You don't want to
Oh,
get
it
caught
was
without it either,
Oh, no, it was dangerous as fool.
So Pat, I know we're jumping around here a bit, man, but one thing I guess I was curious to know about, man, and I guess, just maybe even being a fly on the wall, man, but the moment that your brothers took home the Oscar, what did that moment feel like for you, man? I mean, because you were a part
Man,
of
it was
that, come on.
Unbelievable. It was just unbelievable. Like, it was just like it'd be like you winning a lottery, or you know how you walk to the casino and you say, man, I know I ain't gonna win nothing like that.
I don't
You
say
just
that.
play the
I don't say
table
that.
and all of a sudden they hit, like, you hit all 3 12s. They hit all 12s and you put your money in the field in the casino. You like, man, that's like,
You're tripling up every time.
but you done threw $1,000 in just because you was like, man, I'm just gonna, man, it's whatever.
Yeah,
And you win big, like big. You like, God dog, you know what I'm saying? So that's how it was. It was like that. It was like something that just was like, how something happened to somebody else and you'll see it and you be like, wow, like somebody hit the slots. So you in the casino, the slots break. And the money just keep coming. They done won like almost $600,000. You like, God, dog, wish that was me.
Yeah, facts.
Well,
man.
that was us.
That was yeah.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
People was looking at us like, huh? Like, and we was looking like, huh? Yeah, we wasn't even thinking that was gonna happen. We just was glad we was able to be on it, perform. They performed at the thing, so that's all. I was out there, so it was just like, oh man, well, hey man, we did something big for the city and big for ourselves. Like we performed at the Oscars. You know what I'm saying?
Come on,
It's as big as it gets.
That's
It's
as
quite
big as it
literally.
gets,
I mean,
dude.
like,
Big as it gets.
Aside of the Grammys, right? I mean, the Oscars are.
let's just
The
say
Oscars
this:
the biggest thing going.
Oscar's bigger, yeah.
you guys got an Oscar almost a decade before Leonardo DiCaprio got one. So
Yo, facts.
that's a stat right there.
That's facts. Yeah, that's facts.
You got one before Leo, dude. And at least you guys showed up and they got to perform and actually showed up to accept it, man. Eminem I think he was sitting at home watching cartoons with his daughter, which
his
is cool in
daughter.
its own way. But I'm glad they showed up and they got to enjoy it.
Well, that, and then that's the first time any Southern rap had ever won an Oscar, and it's like I think the first time a rap group ever won an Oscar. Like, for a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so that's why we thought ourselves that it would never, like, we never thought that was gonna happen.
I mean, I'm just curious, did you even know that was going to be a song submitted to the Oscars when the movie was made? I mean, was that something that was even talked about? Do you know?
Nah, Juicy, he was handling all that. Nah, we didn't.
Okay.
He didn't think so. He knew. And then he said, on top of it, they said, man, they want us to perform. And he was just like, he couldn't believe it.
I bet.
Yeah. Let's go.
I would have felt like if we got in that situation, I'd be like, who let us in the building? Let us perform, dude.
That's awesome.
crazy, man.
Legendary.
Wow.